Okay, the export and import, we go and first import from the file. Most of the codes in the GitHub will teach you these steps. They will tell you to go through this tab and this tab. Okay. Basically, you drop your zip file here and you press enter. Maybe you will notice something weird that I will show you. For example, I have this from GitHub converse file. When I press open, you will notice you can't press import. Not yet. There's some kind of captcha saying type import and click the import button. So you have to type the word import, some kind of captcha, then the button import will be enabled for you. Okay? Basically, you press import and hopefully it gets uploaded. It never got uploaded with me. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm using Firefox. Maybe there's something they are updating this kind of agent, the upload agent. Okay, so there is something fishy about it. It says here the file was not uploaded. As I said, it's still a fresh environment. Okay, so you can help the Google Assistant and file a report about this. I created a new project here, testing. It's not showing. This is my two old projects. The one I have just created here, it's not showing up. Anyway, let's continue with one of my older projects. So what's the next step? After we created a custom intent, okay. After you press the button create, you go back to the first page. What is the first page? This is the first page. Okay, and you press create. It will take a while. You can dismiss this message if you don't want it. It's okay. Oh yeah, it's giving me the agent will be able to. So now this is your first intent. Okay, there is always a default welcome intent. Okay, we will go to that default welcome intent. Okay, here you will notice there are some input already filled for you. Okay. You go back to the tutorial, press next, see what the next step is. We already clicked on the default welcome intent. Then come up here and it's saying please delete all the test responses. Okay, let's do that. Go to the responses, you will see there is already some responses for the welcome. For example, it could say hi or hello or good day or greetings. We don't want that. We will delete them all. We can delete them one by one or press this trash icon here to delete them all. Okay? So what's next? You can add your own text response. For example, type welcome, what is your favorite color? So we will create an action that asks the user for his favorite color. Okay, it will be a very simple action, just for a startup.
For the response, there is an option for text response and customer favorite. So which one would you?
Let's see together. Responses. Under the responses section, click enter a text response. Okay, so here you add a response and you choose text.
Text response will appear on the screen, or the customer play around will take the voice or something.
text response, it will like ask him in voice, and it will appear as a text at the same time. That's what
Yeah, but this the response from the machine itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be speak up.
It will be like a prompt message for the user.
Okay.
It will say like, welcome, what is your favorite color? And wait for the user to input the color. That's what a text response is. It's a bit confusing because you don't know in which point of view we're talking about.
Yes.
So here we will type welcome, what is your favorite color, without the double quotation. If you want to put any other alternative, for example, you don't want the same message to appear every time. You want some kind of randomness. Okay? So you can put more than one. For now, we will put only one. Okay? So what's the next step? Says click save. Okay, we'll go back to here. So that's it for this page. We will only ask for the favorite color. And press save. Okay, you will notice here our response says infinite save. Okay. Let's see what's the next step. It says that you can test your application now. Okay, so you can go to where to the integration settings. You have to do some integration settings first. In the dialog flow, go to the integrations. Okay. Then what? Click on the integration settings. Where is the integration settings? Over here. You find it almost in the middle. Integration settings. And then what? Click test to update your action project and load in the action console simulator. Check what the action can do, the auto review, change options, enablement. So let's put the auto review. Where's the auto review? Yeah. Put it as on. So every time you change anything in your project, it will automatically upload it to the simulator. You don't have to go and do this integration settings every time. So use the auto review changes. And press test. Okay. If you're falling behind at any steps, always remember that I'm following this tutorial guide here. Okay. The new tab is actually the same as the action tab you were working on. Just open it again and open the simulator. Okay. So here on the left side, this is actually like your phone screen. Okay. It's giving me some suggestions, like if you want to invoke your action, it will give you this initial suggestion. For example, my default invocation phrase is talk to my test app. You can change that. I will teach you how to. You can go here to the invocation here on the left, and you can specify how you want to invoke your action. Okay. For now, we didn't go through that. So the default invocation phrase is this one. So press on it. I don't know if the mic would.
Okay, let's get the test version of my test app.
Okay. I would love to give a command by voice, but the mic is not available on my PC.
Test version of my test app.
The only thing is working is the speaker, as you can see. So right now I have invoked my action, or I have started my action. Okay. Did anything appear? This welcome message should appear. Welcome, what is your favorite color? I'm not sure why it did not appear. So, do my test. Something is weird. I think it's just cancel. Talk to my test app again.
I didn't get that. Can you say it again?
It should ask this question, welcome, what is your favorite color? Right now it's not coming up. Let's continue with the tutorial and see how it goes. Okay? See, in the tutorial it says if you say talk to my test app, then the welcome message should appear, welcome, what is your favorite color? If anything fishy happens or anything unexpected happens, you can follow up with the debug. Okay, for example, you can go and see what the response was. You can see that actually there was a response, a simple response text to speech. Welcome, what is your favorite color? So there is a response, but I'm not sure why it didn't appear here on the screen. Did anyone have the response welcome? What is your favorite color? Usually it should appear. On the right side, it should appear on the left side. Yeah, that's what's confusing me too. Let's close this. You can refresh the simulator at any time. Maybe it needs a refresh. Press Control R or Command R, it will refresh. And it will like be in the same session. Let's try it. Let me talk to my test apps. Still not coming up. By the way, if you're already using your Android or any or you downloaded Google Assistant on your phone, and you're using the same Gmail or email account that you're using now for developing, this testing app is now already available on your Google Assistant. Only you, only your phone. So if you want to test this app, you can already say, okay, Google, talk to my test app. It should appear. If you're already linking your phone with the same Gmail account. If you want to talk to your phone, say, okay, Google, it's okay. It's an open session. Okay, as we said, you can debug your action. You can see the request, you can see the response tabs, you can see why something didn't happen, etc. You can check for errors if you had any errors, and I encourage you to have errors. Even if it starts from the first time correctly, try to put anything weird and see how the error comes out, just to get used to the error tab.
Let's see the test version of my test.
Okay, let's continue on with the tutorial. Maybe after we continue with the full one. Okay. Now we will create a conversational response. Okay, here it's defining some terminologies like parameters, dialog intent, dialog webhook, what is meant by fulfillment. Okay. This is important. It's a code that responds to an HTTP request in dialog specific messaging format. Contains the logic for handling intents and dynamically constructing response to that to send to the user. Okay. So, for example, you want to construct an okay. For example, let's say اشتغل معاك.
What is your favorite color?
سألت كنت سوفير مش شغل أنا شغال في الشغل تقدر تعطيه البوس إذا ما تشتغل تقدر تكمل
Sure, here's the test version of my test app.
What is your favorite color?
What was that?
يعني هذا احنا قاعد نسوي مع بعض هذا الفريم كاميرا. احنا ماشيين مع التوتوريال هذا. اول شيء تسوين الاكشن بعدين يو جو تو ذا سيميليتر. اي براوزر
Okay, let's get the test version of my test.
المفروض يكون قاعد اشوفها هنا موجوده. اول ما شغلنا الابلكيشن كانت موجوده. شو شيء تصور
All right, getting the test version of my test.
بعدين الشغل المفروض الشيء الشغل المفروض يطلع الريسبونس responses and responses to في احد جرب من تليفونه؟ اللي اوريدي بدهم اندرويد وشاكين الايميل بالتليفون خليه يجرب يقول توك تو ماي تيست اب او يكتبها كتاب مثلا اذا بطل جوجل اسيستنت ويشوف هل يرد عليه ولا لا.
Sure, here's the test version of my test app. Well, what is your favorite color?
من هذا طلع البركه. انا شوف سويت.
I got an answer from my phone. I didn't get it from my simulator. I got it from my phone, but I didn't get it from my simulator.
Sorry.
I got it.
Sorry, I can't help.
لك سوا. كانت الظاهر اليوم لانه كله ويب بيست، الظاهر اليوم في عندهم مشكله بسيميليتر اللي عنده تليفون او حتى اللي عنده ايفون يقدر ينزل جوجل اسيستنت بس ما شلون راح يربط عليه مع سيميليتر يعني يدخل جيميل ماله الاكونت. انا عندي الاندرويد يعني رابط ايميل وكل شيء فقاعد يشبك له مباشره. اوكي دام ان المشكله بالسيميليتر نكمل التوتوريال. 45 دقيقة على اللانش. وصلنا للخطوة الخامسة. Create a conversational response. Okay. هني قاعد يتكلم عن how to train your model. اللي already يعرفون في machine learning. You basically try to create a model and you train it. And then it will try to serve you after you get the training. مثل ما يكون عندك ياهل ما يعرف شيء. قاعد كل يوم تعيد عليه الكلمة، تعيد عليه الكلمة وتعيد عليه التصرف لما شنو؟ يتعلم الشيء هذا. Okay, نفس الشيء هنا. You can create a model. You train it, for example, you give it training phrases. You say, purple is my favorite, black is my favorite, I love yellow, pink, my favorite color is green. شوي شوي راح يتعلم راح يقول this is how I get responses and this is how I extract information out of them. This is what we're going to do now. We will take these phrases one by one. We will give them to Dialogflow, and he will learn from them how we human express our favorite color. Okay. Later on, it can tackle any other similar phrases. يعني اليوزر لازم بالضبط يقول my color is بعدين يحط اللون. ممكن يقولها بأي طريقة ثانية، بس أنا أعطيتها يعني على الأقل 5 احتمالات. ممكن يعطيك اللون مباشرة، ممكن لا قبلها يقول كلمة. هالطريقة هذه. Okay. So let's try and put the training phrases. How do you do that? We go to the Dialogflow console. This one Dialogflow console. And you go to the intent. Okay. And you click on create intent. Okay. So previously we worked with the default welcome template. Now we will create our own new intent. This intent was just to welcome the user to the action. Now we will create a new one. Let's create intent. Okay. Next step is what? The intent name at top, type favorite color. Let's call this intent favorite color. Again, مثل ما قلت لكم intent معناته بالعربي نية. الحين بحاول اني اعرف او اي بروجرام نية اسمها favorite color. اليوزر داخل عندي الاكشن عنده نية انه يعطيني favorite color. بعطيك سيف. Okay. Next step is under training phrases. Add the following user expression by typing the phrases below, then click enter the keyboard. So when training phrases, click على add the training phrases. Okay. And you start giving it training phrases one by one. Okay. If you want to split your screen, for example, I'll split it like this. Put the tutorial in one half and the Dialogflow in other half, and you can start typing. If you want to copy, that's fine. But you have to take them one by one without double quotation. Okay? So this is the first one. You type enter, and it will ask you for another one. Notice how it's already learning. It's taking the color purple and it's saving it in an entity, but like in a system variable called color or add sys.color. Okay, let's give it more phrases so it can learn our human language. Let's take the other one. Black is my favorite color. Like this. See, it's already using the machine learning frameworks at the fly, huh? And it calls the color of black. Let's give it another phrase, another possibility. Someone could say, I love yellow. Okay, so already got that. Or someone can say the color immediately. And last one, my favorite color is green. Copy, paste. Okay, this should be enough. 5 phrases should be enough. If you think there is any other possibilities, whatever you're dealing with, you can add it. Okay? So what's the next step in the tutorial? Here it's also defining what's training phrases. I already explained that. So it's saying now under action and parameters, click manage parameters and action. So we go here, manage parameter and actions. Okay. Next, create the prompt text to ask the user for their favorite color. You should see a line with color in the parameter name field. This parameter entry is automatically created by the workflow because it's able to auto-annotate words and phrases and recognize as entity in the training phrases. Okay? So how did it know that we are trying to extract color from the user? It's already done automatically for you. Okay? You type some phrase and you say you were mentioning some color, so it auto predicted that you're trying to work on receive color from the user, and it already saved it for you in a variable called it add system.color. Okay? On that line, click on the required box. Okay, so I'm going to say the color is required. The checkbox on the left. Okay, then the prompts or define prompts will come up. You click on define prompts, okay, and you type what is your favorite color. This is different than the welcome message. Okay, we're waiting for the color from the user, and then we're gonna give him some response. Okay. And you click close. If you want another prompt to appear, for example, if he failed to enter the color from the first time and you want to rephrase the question other way, it's up to you. For now, we will just put one prompt, assuming the user is smart. Okay? So this is what you should have. Should have the required checkbox ticked, and then the prompts should come up like this. What's your favorite color? All right? Now we will go to the fulfillment section at the end of the page, and we will say enable fulfillment. Fulfillment means you want to create a dynamic response. So for example, based on whatever the user is going to give us, I'm going to build up my response. For example, if the user say blue, I'm going to respond with the number 4, corresponding the number to the number of the letters in the word blue. For example, if you say red, I will reply with what? 3. Just a simple example to see how the interface works. Okay? Then you should click on enable webhook. Go for this. Okay? If you want to create a dynamic response, you should use the webhook. Okay? I know there are a lot of options, and we are going or using the simplest one. This is just to get you familiarized with the interface. You can go on your own and explore the other options and read about. Okay, for now we only have 1 hour. Okay, now that you're done, you put your training phrases, and then you set up your action parameters, and then you put or enable the webhook in the fulfillment. You can press save. Please make sure you do these 3 steps. Don't miss on any one of them. If you miss on any one of them, you can go back at any time and edit the intent. Okay? How do you go back to your intent? Basically, you can just go to the page of the intent. You can see the default welcome intent, or you can see the favorite color intent, and you can enter it again and edit it, or check if you have done everything as you should have done. Okay, let's go on to the 6th step of the tutorial. Now we're going to implement a webhook. Okay. Don't get overwhelmed by the word webhook. As I said, it's creating a dynamic response. That's it. Okay, whether you are linking it with your own web services, if you have a web services on your business or website, you can do that. Or you can define your own web service here using the inline editor. So how do you build your webhook? We will use the dialog flow concepts inline editor to build and deploy it. To build a webhook for your action, do the following. In the left navigation, this is the left navigation. Okay. Click on fulfill. Okay. Here I'm trying to fulfill a response, or I'm trying to satisfy a response. That's why it's called a fulfillment. Okay. So you have to choose one of them. Either you use a webhook, either you use a webhook and make it with your own website, put, for example, the links, the URL, the authentication, and everything, or you use the inline editor. You can't use both of them. That's what this warning message is saying. You enable one, the other one will be disabled. Okay, so for now we will use that inline editor. Okay, then here you're basically using Node.js. Someone has used Node.js before. This is using Node.js, or to put it in similar word, we're using JavaScript. Okay, it's giving you some default template. If you want to put like extra packages from your own, if you have like a package from your GitHub you want to use here, you can go to the package.json. This is like the configuration file. You can here put your dependencies. For example, you want to say, I want to use like a request promise plugin. So basically, here you put it and you put the version that you want to use it, and it will automatically link with it or depend on it. Okay, and so on. Okay, this is for more complicated actions. For now, we will delete everything in here and use this code from the tutorial, starting from use start until the end. It's like 15 lines or 10 lines. Highlight everything in here, first like Control A or Command A, then Control V, paste the whole thing. Okay? In simple words here, what I'm trying to do, I'm responding to the intent that I name favorite color, so make sure you name it correctly. Maybe some of you use the favorite spelling in British. You know, they use a different spelling. So make sure you're using the same spelling. You named your intent favorite in American accent, so you have to use the American accent as they are doing. If you use the British accent, you have to use the British. The difference is only in the letter U. This is how they write favorite in the British. I faced this problem when I done the IELTS, by the way. I was preparing for TOEFL, and then suddenly I changed to IELTS. I got a news that my writing was really low because I was using the British accent anyway. So here you're saying what's going to happen when the user has entered the intent favorite color. Here you're basically defining an anonymous function for those of you interested in the details. Those who are developers and looking for more information. I'm defining an anonymous function, and I'm saying this anonymous function receives one parameter, which is the color I defined in the intent. And here I just want the length of the color, the word color itself, for example, blue, the length of it is 4. And then I'm closing the conversation by saying your lucky number is, and then I'm printing the number of letters in that. It's just as a dummy response. Okay? Always, your intent should always have a conversation.close. Otherwise, it will not be accepted by Google. Okay? You can't put an intent that does not have it. So if your intent have, for example, if statements, switch, whatever, it has to reach a conversation.close. Okay? You can ask the user, you can say conversation.ask, ask the user for parameters, but it has to end with that conversation. And this is the only way you can reply to the user. You reply to the user and end the conversation at the same time. This is the only API available for now. Okay, maybe later they will add more APIs. As I say, there's already conversation.ask. Okay. And as you can see, conversation dot close. Okay. Now we press deploy. This will take a while. Okay. Every time you change anything here in the code, you can press deploy and wait for it to deploy. So it may take a few seconds. Depending on your internet speed. If you want to make even similar application, as I said, like make a quiz, action, it will be much simpler than this. As I told you, like upload your own Excel sheet, and it will do everything. You don't have to go and create a webhook because there is no dynamic response in making a quiz. It's a fixed response always, or constant response. So you don't have to go with the webhook. It will be as easy as dealing with the wizard, next, and you will have your own action. Still deploying, which is weird. Usually take like 20 or 10 seconds. So okay, let's take a copy of this just in case. I'm thinking of refreshing the page, or maybe wait a little while. Maybe it got stuck, so I'll just refresh the page. Enable the inline editor. Okay, my code is still there. Oh, it already got deployed. Let's deploy it again just in case. Is everyone getting this long deploying message? Finish it. Good. Once it finishes, you can now go back to the simulator. I assume you already have the simulator tab open. Okay. Everything is synchronized. Once you deploy here, okay, I got deployed. Once you deploy here, you can start the application again without refreshing the page. Can I say again? Talk to my test tab. Okay, as you said, there is a problem with the simulator today. So those who have their phone, please try it on your phone. Okay. Okay, Google. Talk to my test app. Okay, it's now asking me for my favorite color. Blue. Okay, Google. Blue.
What's your favorite color?
I took it as eagle.
Sure. Here's the test version. What's your favorite color?
Green. Oh, come on.
Sorry, I can't help.
Okay, good. It left the conversation. Come on. Okay, Google. That's because I didn't put another prompt message.
My apologies.
talk to my test app.
Sure, here's the test version of my test app. Welcome. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is red.
Your lucky number is 3.
So I got a response. Okay. When you give it some text before it, like my favorite color is, it will get the color more correctly. But if you say your color immediately, it will not know what context are you talking about. So it's better you say my favorite color is, so it gets the color correctly. Okay? Anyone having any problems? Responding? Fine. That's right. Shall Okay, so this is a very simple action. I know maybe some of you were expecting a very complicated action, but this is just a startup for me. Okay, good. Anyone having any problem?
I missed what you said. Say it again. Your lucky number is 5.
Anyone else having any other problems? Everyone is happy? Can you create your own actions now? You don't have to really go from scratch. You can use this and edit it, for example, anything you like. Or if you're looking for something specific or something similar, you can go to other templates. We use level 1. If you want to go to level 2, or there, or any other templates you can go with. Or maybe just use this to create your own actions after we come back from the lunch. Okay? So what's next for the code that I have explained is already explained here in the tutorial. Okay, if you missed on anything and you would like to hear it again or read it again, you can read it here. It gives even more information that I have here. Okay. Okay, here it guides you through what you can do for next steps. You can actually see other As I said, other templates, you can actually go to GitHub. There are a lot of codes in GitHub, but unfortunately the import functionality does not work. So I don't know how you're going to use the GitHub codes for now. Maybe tomorrow it will work, maybe day after tomorrow, I don't know. Then you can go inside the files of the GitHub and copy the code from it and paste it on your own dialog flow console. Okay, but the templates inside the action console is working fine. We already used level 1, working fine. We didn't need to import anything. Okay, and for each template there is a text-based tutorial like this. Okay. If you have any feedback and you would like to give the Google Assistant your feedback, you can fill in this form survey in this link. At the end of the last step, the second step, you can fill out this form, you can give your feedback, or if you have suggestions for them. Okay. And that's it for the code lab session. We should be having lunch soon. I'm not sure if the lunch is ready or not. Let me check with the organizers. If it's not ready, then we will continue a little bit.
Yeah, because you answered the last, like you gave it command earlier.
So they're just walking out for the lunch. So we will continue for like 10 minutes. Okay, and then we will have the lunch. Let's see. We go back to the slides maybe. You can watch the video tutorial. There's a very interesting video tutorial. Well, let's try the SSM method. Let's see how we can create a custom response. So go to the links. Look for the word SS and L. Then you go. Okay. So for example, this is one of the examples here. You can play around with it, or you can play it immediately and see how it reads it. Okay. I was hoping there is a sound, but apparently no sound. Why there is no sound? Did someone turn off the audio? Okay, as I said, you can play around here. You can change the code. You can try out different possibilities. You can read the API and see how they use it. For example, you can put breaks. You want to say the words one after another, but you want to put like 0.2 seconds break between, or you want to emphasize or make less emphasis on some sentences. You can put a break, a strength weak, for example. I wish it would really work. Maybe on your devices it would work. I'm connecting an HDMI. Okay? You can try the characters, the fraction, if you want the fraction, lead, unit, all of that. You can try it out and see it for yourself. Create or enhance your action. Okay? So So there are a lot of APIs here. What else? The sound library, as we said, I really don't want to go to the content that is after last week. Don't go. Okay. So we have a break now from 1 to 2 for the lunch. If you have any questions, you can ask. The lunch will be ready in like 5 minutes. Yeah, you create one more down in case you say you create a new content from a birth country. You create traces like the one we gave you. Will automatically annotate and detect that you're trying to give with countries. It will say a variable called country. Create a workbook for it. Or the same workbook, you just repeat it. Yeah, you just repeat this piece of code. See, you don't have to repeat the whole code, just this piece. This time, make it for framework what? For example, you can display any information regarding that country. Like show hotels, show hotspots, for example, whatever you can. Make it very simple. You can actually live in the database or a backend server of your own. Yeah, they should at least get some background knowledge. Me too. I didn't know about it. I knew about Siri, but Google Assistant. This is the first time. Yeah, by the way, the lunch is ready. Please be prepared. After lunch, you will create your own actions. Okay, so try while eating, try to come up with ideas. Even if it's a very simple idea, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to connect to a database, etc. Try to come up with an idea, then you will come back here, work in groups or individually as you like. After that, you will present the actions in my seat. Okay? So, one of attack. This is a new home. Oh, yes. Let's Google home. You can always watch the live. I don't know if they told you that it will be live. They're already recording it on YouTube. To like, I don't know if this is gonna be recorded, can be heard later on, but it's going to be.
Nobody came over my
Exactly. You can always start. I mean, it's hard at the beginning, but once you get used to it, you love يا جماعة لا حد يقول مسوي روتين أكل بلاش حياكم
ليش ما تروحون؟
Dear everyone, we have some small snacks as lunch in the next door, and also the drinks are available in the fridge. So feel free and get energized. You need to eat something. So at 2 we'll come back. Okay, at 2. And also we have the prayer room there if anyone wants to pray. Yeah.
And to be clean.
Ben who Ben philosophy. I don't. 就是看不到我有。